I'm going to be going against something that you are absolutely used to. I mean, I've been doing it for so long, and it's using pins while sewing. It makes us feel secure that we are going to get things matched up the way that they're supposed to be. However, there is another way, and if you want to find out a bit more about that, keep on watching this video. Hello, my name is Juliet Uzor of SewSoNatural.com, a place where we work together to demystify the art of sewing clothes. And if you are ready to find out a bit more about sewing without pins, hit the like button and let's get started. First things first, I just wanted to let you know that way back when, all the pros in the sewing industry and the machinists actually do not sew with pins, or they limit the amount of pins that they use while sewing if it's absolutely necessary. And then people who do couture garments actually do use hand needles to put things together rather than pins. So I thought I would get that out of the way. Now that you know that and you're thinking, maybe I'm gonna have a go at doing this, yeah, it's fine. I would recommend starting off with woven fabric. Build up from matching up side seams of the bodice or side seams of a skirt, trousers, those ones that are a bit less complicated. And what you would do is you would pin just the beginning, the end of the seam, and then match your notches with 3 pins or clips. And once you've got those things secure, you take it over to the sewing machine and your fingers do all the work. I like to hold my fingers down on the fabric. I have my fingers down this way and I just feed the fabric. So my fingers are basically holding the fabric down. You might have heard about piano fingers. Yeah, it is a thing. So what you do with your piano fingers is you just hold onto the fabric and make sure that everything is matched exactly the way they're supposed to be. So when you've built up from matching side seams and you're ready to move on to princess seams, same thing happens. What you do is you match the notches, but then the curved side goes underneath. When your curved side is beneath, it enables you to just like easily place the straight, well, it's not really straight, but the straighter edge neatly the way it should be, and you gradually feed it through using those fingers to press down and make sure that the top fabric is nicely aligned with the bottom fabric. Match things together without pins. So you match the end of it and match the middle and make sure things are aligned properly, and pin them together with with your right hand, and then with your left hand guide them together to make sure. So this acts as a pin holding the notches together, and then you move the fabric through the machine, and when you've got to the edge, the part that's been pinned, you move on to another place. I say pin, but like held together with your fingers.
Wish I could say I was finally over you, but that's not the truth. Everyone always keep falling in love again. Okay,
so there are certain parts of an item of clothing that would be interfaced and the other won't be. I'll give you an example. When you're working with facings, with those aspects or parts of a garment, you want to have the interfaced part on top and the non-interfaced parts beneath, and work your way through. So what you're basically going to do is ensure that those notches, I keep saying notches, but it's so important. Notches are absolutely important. So if you do have notches in your garments, sleeves, necklines, wherever it is, collars, skirts, waistbands, please make sure you mark those notches by snipping into them or making a little clip, just to make sure that things are matched the way they're supposed to be. Now, you'll be wondering, gathers. They come out so beautiful when they're evenly spread out. But then, is it even possible to stitch gathers without pins? It is, and it actually saves time if you reduce the amount of pinning that you do. If you have your gathered part on top and your straight side beneath, or your non-gathered part beneath, from one edge of your seam to the other edge of your seams, well, with the gathered and the non-gathered, gathered and non-gathered, are both evenly spread out. So you put the beginning of the fabric through to the machine, and then with your right hands, pin together the center part, and gradually, with this you have to go quite slowly, and gradually just feed with your fingers, making sure things are spread out properly. You have to go slowly, and the time that you spend going slowly would kind of cancel out the amount of time that you spend pinning and removing pins from your fabric whilst you're sewing, because the act of sew, remove pin, sew, remove pin, sew, remove pin can be quite time consuming. I would recommend spending that time just slowly feeding your fabric and making sure that things are evenly spread out as they go through the sewing machine. And all these I do unless I am batch sewing, and whenever I'm batch sewing I tend to use not a lot of pins, just a few. So in order to find out my top tips whenever I'm batch sewing lots and lots but quicker, watch this video here on the screen and find out my top tips. I hope to see you over at that video. Enjoy the rest of your day and all the very best. Take care. Bye.